hello there. Welcome to the first ever episode of Sonic Stardust, the music production essentials video series. If you're new to this channel, I'm Vlad. I've been recording my own music in my home studio for the past 15 years or so, and I wanted to share everything I've learned over those years so you can get a head start and avoid the mistakes, and there's been plenty of those by the way, and get a head start in your music production. And today I want to talk about something that just blew my mind when I learned this because it's so simple, it's so effective, and we're talking about the parallel drum compression. And let's get started right away. What you see here is my 80s AOR style jam track project, and it sounds like this. I think you can immediately tell what kind of sound and style I'm going for, but you can also tell that the drums are lacking a little bit. And I'm using the Easy Drummer 3 here, I'm using a Radio Rock preset, and I already tweaked the sounds and the balance of these drums in the mixer panel to my liking. And in order to give the drums a bit more punch, we're gonna do parallel compression. And what we're doing here is basically taking the sound of the whole drum set, sending a copy of that into a virtual track, and then processing that virtual track. So I've created the bus number 1, and what I'm going to do is to set it at 0. So we're sending exactly the same amount of drums from the track to a bus. And I should mention this technique works exactly the same on real drums as well. You just select all of your drum tracks and then send them to a bus. I'm not 100% sure about other DAWs, but in Logic Pro you can also do a cool thing where you can go to the bus you just created, hit create track, and it's now next to the drum track. And this is not something you absolutely have to do, but I just like to organize my tracks in a way there's kind of drums, bass, guitars, and then everything else after that. And if we take a listen now, the drums are obviously now louder, but it's because we are taking the drums and then kind of copying them, and both of the drum tracks are playing. So yeah, it's going to be louder, but that's not all what we want to do here. The next thing I want to do here is to open up a plugin called TDR Tenlikov, and this is a compressor plugin that I've loaded up on the drum bus track over here. And what's cool about this plugin is, first of all, it's completely free. You can download it by using the link in the description. No affiliation with the company, by the way. And also it has 3 different drum bus presets that you can kind of use as a starting point for a project. I think for this music style, because I really want to have like a ridiculously huge snare and bass, I'm gonna go with Smasher, and let's see what it does right away. Yeah, it's compressing like crazy right now. We're gonna tweak the threshold in just a minute. But do you also notice how it kind of extends the crazy snares kind of reverb trail? I really love that for this kind of music style. Let's back down the threshold a little bit and tweak a bit more. I really love what it does to the snare. It just rings longer and sounds like kind of stupidly over reverberated or something like that. Really like that. But I think also the overall effect is a bit too much. And because we're using parallel compression, the easiest way to dial in exactly the amount of kind of compression and punch you want to have is just to use these 2 volume controls over here, because we can now blend in as much or as little of parallel compression as we want. And because we do this way, it allows us, for example, to automate the 2 drum levels and maybe, for example, go a little bit less drive and compression for the verses and then crank it up for the choruses, things like that. And let's jump to something that's maybe a bit less over the top. This is called Ambient Slow Jam, something like that, one of my jam tracks again. And here's how it sounds without any parallel compression. As you can tell, the drums are pretty quiet here right now, but we're going to fix that with the parallel compression. Again, using the CatPick. And for this one, I want to try out the deep control preset and kind of start from that. And mute the track as well. I like how this sounds, but I actually feel here I could bring up the sort of real drums, again using the Easy Drummer 3 actually, and back down the compression a little bit. Let's give it a try. Also, I think I need to dial back the threshold a little bit. Notice as soon as it goes to minus like 4, 5, or 6 dB, there's a nice smack on the snare and it just cuts through just the right amount without going over the top. Yeah, you can also hear the ride really well. It feels like it's bringing both the kick drum and the snare a bit forward and just gives drive to the song. And there you have it. It's a very simple yet extremely effective technique that really adapts to many kind of music styles and situations. Give it a try, give the free plugin a try as well. And if you want to see more Sonic Starters episodes in the future, be sure to click the subscribe button, like button, and things like that. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.